Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Sundays in South County. Again, this is a short little series I'm going to be doing. Talks about what the market is doing in South County, which is Gilroy, Morgan Hill, and San Martin. If you guys do have more specific questions for a specific zip code in San Jose, or if you want to see Hollister's statistics, just let me know. Definitely information I can get for you. So this past week, the last 7 days, we had 13 new listings in South County. So that's 13 new homes that went for sale in our area. And we also had 11 properties that went contingent or pending, which means that a seller accepted an offer from a buyer on their home. So I still think that's a good ratio of new listings to sales, 13 to 11. It's about what we've been seeing these past few weeks too, where basically what that means is the new inventory that's coming on is selling. Now, 13 listings is a little bit less than last week. I believe last week we had 18, but I think as we kind of go through this coronavirus time period, these weeks are going to be pretty volatile. And especially when you're just looking at South County, which is a relatively small area, it's very hard to compare week by week. We had 18 listings that closed escrow, and that means the buyers actually completed the sale and they're now moving into the property. So what that means is people are still getting their loans, they're getting to do their appraisals, everything's happening that these properties can close escrow. So if you're considering selling, don't be worried. Coronavirus isn't going to prevent you from being able to sell. It's just a different little shift in the market here. We haven't seen prices drop. We're just seeing a little bit less inventory. And I'm actually going to share my screen with you and show you an awesome slide that is, it's actually for information for all of the Bay Area counties. It's not just South County, but I think it's really useful information to compare what this market this spring is doing versus last spring, 2019. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you. And now here you'll see the new homes listed for March and April 2019 versus March and April of 2020. So the orange is 2020 right here. And then the blue is 2019, which was previous year. And the SIP line is when the shelter in place order was enacted. So you'll see things were pretty much aligning prior to shelter in place. They were lining up quite a bit with last year. We might have even seen a little bit more listings this year than last. And now I know if you see these big dips everywhere here, not really important. What that is that's weekend dates. I think the next slide actually shows you those are Saturdays, Sundays. Most realtors do not put listings on the weekend. It's usually Monday through Thursday, and that's when you see these larger dips here where they go up from the weekend. So we are seeing about 50% less listings hitting the market right now. Now, that's not necessarily such a bad thing because for sellers at least, because when there's less inventory, buyers have less options to choose from. So if you're thinking about putting your home on, you're going to have less competition. So more buyers are probably going to be taking a look at your property, whether it's virtually or if you're going to allow people in, then maybe they'll be seeing it in person too. And now this is a comparison of actual sold listings. And this sold listings are ones that actually have closed escrow. So again, kind of aligns with what we saw as far as listings. We're seeing about 50% less sold listings as well. But this makes sense because if there's less listings coming on the market, obviously there's going to be less sales because there's less to buy. So there is about 50% less sales right now than what we saw in spring of 2019, which is here. Then you see the dip to the 2020 currently. And then this is what is a TFT. That's called the transaction fell through. So it shows that after the SIP, a lot of buyers did back out of their transactions. And when I say a lot, it's not really that much. If you see here, this line, the maximum we saw was a few days after the shelter in place. We got to 35 that fell out of escrow. And that means buyers backed out of the transaction. It doesn't necessarily mean it was strictly due to the shelter in place orders. Sometimes buyers can't get their loans. Sometimes they decide they do property inspections and the house doesn't meet what they were looking for. So it's not the only reason, but we did see a dip versus other times. So that's definitely been one of the reasons we've seen more buyers backing out of their transactions. And then this is another interesting one. It's people that took their homes off the market. So as you can see, as soon as word about shelter in place came on, the cancellation of listings went from about 10 a day, 20 a day, to hitting 70 the day after the shelter in place was ordered. So a lot of people got scared. Oh, we don't want my home on the market right now. Don't want people coming through. And hey, I get that. But I do think there's a lot of great virtual ways to get people through right now and take advantage of the low inventory. So I just thought this would be interesting information for you guys. So if you do have any questions, just let me know. I'm always here to answer questions. And again, I'm happy to do specific market reports to your zip code, to your neighborhood. That way you have a good idea of what the market's doing. If you have any questions, my phone number is 408-963-1295. You can also check out my website at www.listingsv.com. Thank you guys and have a great rest of your weekend.